Okay, let us go to content, of course. And we're going to come down to learning materials, weeks 4 and 5. So let's look at the sample drawing. Let me go to presentation mode. Okay. So this is what your final assignment number 2 is going to look like. Okay. We're going to be creating these 9 geometric construction exercises. And Jacob, I think, Jacob C., I think you've already done this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to do it again, all right?
Okay.
Okay. So now, so this is the sample drawing, all right? Sorry about that. All right, so now let's look at the cartoon drawing. Okay. And this is where we ended at the last class. We had started to lay out the cartoon drawing. And Jacob C., each assignment is going to have a cartoon drawing, which actually is going to show us how the sheet is going to be composed.
Okay.
All right. So now we see that we're going to be creating those nine geometric construction exercises in these 9 areas here, boxes. Okay. Most of you completed the laying out the boxes at the last class, which included the perimeter of the title block. Okay. What we're going to do now to complete the cartoon drawing, we're going to add these main titles to each corner of each box as indicated here. And we see that how the 3/4 of an inch circle that we're going to use, okay, is going to tangent this vertical line and tangent that horizontal line. And of course, we're going to draw this line through the main title like we did for the previous assignment number 1. Okay. So now your task is to lay out those main titles. But I'm going to go back to the table of contents as a refresher. Okay. If we go to the table of contents and we go down to course resources, okay, and we go to drawing templates, good, and then we get to our main title template PDF. I just want to remind you as to where you can locate the information. We see that the main title layout includes a circle. Okay. And of course, you're going to use your circle template for that. And the diameter of that circle is 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And then that's just a line that bisects the circle that's going to contain the drawing title and the scale. All right.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
I downloaded the app to convert my picture to a PDF. It says that you have to like make an account and pay for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't, okay.
It says try it free for a week, but then it's $50 a year.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Okay. We got you. All right. We are come up with a different plan. Mine was free. Okay. All right. So let's, we're just gonna use the email. Okay. The picture and the email. Okay.
Alright.
No PDF. Okay, so let us continue, please. Okay, so here's, let's go back to the cartoon. Okay, so now you're going to need, you're going to need your circle template, please. So please get that out, please. All right, you should maybe see my board now. So you're going to need your circle template, and of course we're using construction lines, right? So we need our mechanical pencil with 0.7 millimeter to each lead in it. Okay, good. And I'm just going to start with this circle, with this quadrant right here. Okay. So the size of the circle that I'm using is what? What size circle am I using? Anybody? Somebody help me. What size am I using?
3/4.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to find the 3/4 diameter circle. Here it is right here. Okay. And then, of course, I have these quadrant points that's going to help me. Let me see. Where am I? There we go. Good. So I have these quadrant points that are going to help me. So I get that as a tangent there. Good. Good. And that's all you have to do for at the lower left-hand corner of each box. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and do that. Remember, just keep these are construction lines. So keep them light in value and keep them light in weight. Okay, let's continue to talk a little bit. Okay. So after you have created all of these main titles for each quadrant, what you're going to do then, you're going to go back to weeks 4 and 5, or assignment number 2. Then I want you to watch this video, okay? Because we know that we're going to need a compass for this exercise. Previous to this, we've used a circle template, but with this particular exercise, we're going to be using our compass. So I would like for you to watch this video here, learn how to use the compass. After I've completed
So that's what we're doing right now?
right now.
Okay.
Jacob C.
Yeah.
I want to share something with you. Okay. Let's go back to D2L. Let's go to learning materials.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to weeks 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then let's go to architectural lettering.
All right.
Good. Then let's go to lettering styles.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now, let's open up that PDF.
All right.
Okay. As an architectural designer, you're going to develop your own style. But for the content of this course, I've asked my students to choose one of these 2 styles that they're going to replicate or mimic, all right? Because architectural lettering is more stylistic than the civil lettering or mechanical lettering. So I want you to choose one of these 2 styles in terms of you know in terms of the format. Okay, either the extended or the triangle. Okay,
Okay.
all right. And then what I want you to do, you're familiar with construction lines and guidelines for text, aren't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so now back up here. Let me move this out the way. Let's go back to my breadcrumb up here. Good. Let's go back to architectural lettering right here, just breadcrumb. Now there are several exercises, lettering exercises that I want you to do. Okay, as I'm scrolling down here, let's come to lettering exercise number 1.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to print this exercise. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go back here. So I want you to print that exercise number 1, print exercise number 2, exercise number 3, and exercise number 4. Okay.
Okay.
And do you have a drafting board
Yeah.
or T-square? Good. All right. Do you have any vellum from the last class?
Yeah, but it's bigger, so I'm folding it in half right now.
Okay. All right. So I really don't want you to do that. But for this exercise, you don't need the vellum because you're actually going to be doing the exercises right on the sheets that you're about to print.
Okay.
So just go ahead and print those out for me, okay?
All right.
Okay, well, let's continue. All right, so let me do this. Okay, let's get your compass out. Compass. Okay. Let's get your sanding block out like this. Sanding block. I'll give you a chance to do that. And then in your drafting kit, you should have a vial of 2H lead, because right now you should have, yeah, no, don't worry about that. In your drafting kit, you should have a vial that has 2H lead in it, right? It's just right there on the end, right there. 2H lead. So I want you to get that out as well. And while you're doing that, I need to print out this. Alrighty, so here's what we're going to do now. This compass has lead in it already, and so does yours, probably. So what I want you to do, I want you to take this lead out. Take it out. So I'm just going to unscrew this right here. So unscrew that. And then I'm just going to take that lid out. Okay, good. Then I'm going to take a piece of lead here, 2H lead that's in this vial, and take that. And I'm going to break a piece off that's probably about that long. I don't want to make it too long. About like this, something like that, if you can see that. Right. And then I'm going to insert that back inside here. Good. And I want to extend it so it's just about the same length as the point of the needle of the compass. So I'm extending out some more like that. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten it down. So I know I have 2H lead now, 2 millimeter lead in my compass. Okay, so I'll give you a chance to do that. Okay, so now we need to sharpen the end of the lead in the compass. And to do that, we're going to use this sanding block right here. Yours may have a cover on it. My cover's been removed. Okay, and they are actually individual sheets. This happens to be kind of stuck together, but there we go. They're individual sheets. And it's important that they are, because at the end of class, you need to just take this and rip it off and discard it, okay? Okay. So the edge of a compass lead has a beveled edge to it, and that's how we're going to use the sanding block. Let me see if I get a right perspective here. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm holding the sanding block like this, right? Okay. I can't get a good perspective for you to see. Like that. Good. See that? Very nasty. So make sure you don't mix it in with your tools. Very nasty. But if you can see this, okay, there we go. You see how that edge is beveled? That's what you want. You want a beveled edge, and you want the tip of that lead to be approximately at the same length as the needle of the compass, right? So just go ahead and bevel that edge for me, please, using that sanding block. So you see how you have to kind of hold it up. See if I can change my angle. Let's see. like this. That's a little better. You see how you have to hold it up like this, right? So you can get that bevel. So you can get that bevel like that. Hold it up like that. Okay. All right. All righty. All right, so let's go back to D2L. Let's go back to D2L. And assignment number 2, weeks 4 and 5. Okay. I want you to print this or make reference to it. If you can print it, it'd be wonderful. This geometric exercise setup drawing right here, this PDF. Good. Let me rotate it. I can rotate it around here like this. Rotate it counterclockwise. That did it. All right. I'll give you a chance to make reference to that. And what you're looking at is the setup drawing that we're going to do initially before we start the geometric construction. This is just the setup lines, as it were, okay? So let me stop sharing here, and I'm going to go back to here, right? Now, I'm in the first quadrant right here, the upper left corner, the first quadrant. This is quadrant number 1. Okay. Now we have our main title here. Okay. Okay. And we know we have text here. Okay. I want to ensure that the lines I'm about to create, right, for this first setup area here, that those lines, which I'm going to be drawing a horizontal line at 2 inches and then a vertical line. 2 inches. But I want to make sure that this horizontal line does not interfere with my text here. Okay. And then I want this line to be kind of like visually centered between here and here, and visually centered vertically between this line and the top of my circle. All right. So now I know that the height of my text, I'm just going to do one guideline. I know that the height of my text for my guideline, the guidelines for the height of my text is going to be 1/4 of an inch for the main title. All right. So using full size scale, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna come over here, and I'm just going to join one of those guidelines. Not one of those guidelines. I'm going to draw the guideline. Okay. So from the line to the bottom of the text is going to be 1/16. And then the height of the text itself is going to be 1/4. Good. All right. Okay, so I guess during the guideline for the 1/4 inch high text for the first quadrant, again, line, right? 1/16 space, and then 1/4 inch high text. Okay? So that gives me an indication of where my line, this first line that I'm going to make, setup line is going to be. Okay, so as we look at that, here's what we're about to do in this first quadrant here. Okay, we're about to make a vertical line that's going to be 2 inches at full size scale horizontally, and then 2 inches full size scale vertically. Okay, so I get my, okay, full size scale, 2 inches. So I'm just trying to get it centered kind of visually there. So from here to here, it's my 2 inches. I see that. That's my 2 inches. So I'm just looking at it visually, see how much space I have here to the right of 0, how much space I have here. And that looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to give myself a reference point right here. Okay, and a reference point right here, 2 inches away. Good. So now that I have my starting ending points, I can come over here. Good. Okay, that's my 2 inch line horizontally. And then at the end of this line right here, I want to make a 2 inch line vertically. So at the end there, I'm going to come here, I'm going to move. Okay. That puts me up there, but that's fine. That's fine. So we'll come over here.
So it doesn't matter where you put those 2 points there?
Right, but you set up what I was trying to do, Angel. I was trying to get it kind of this horizontal line right here, right? 2 inch one. I was trying to equally space, have an equal space here visually and an equal space there. Right? I just did it. I didn't measure it. I just did it visually. My main concern was getting this line here above my text, so there would be no interference.
So the vertical line is 2 inches, right?
Right. Look at the sample drawing. Print this out. It's giving you those dimensions, right? Print it out, make reference to it. Okay, 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to practice making some circles. Okay. So just get a separate piece of paper like I've done. You don't have to tape it down or anything. Okay. Okay. So the circle that we're about to make is, if you can see this, this circle has a 2-inch diameter. Okay. So the radius is always half of the diameter, so that means this radius here is 1 inch. Okay. So again, using full-size scale. Okay. I'm going to come over here, and there we go. So now I'm going to set of course, by rolling my compass in and out, right? I can make a smaller circle by rolling it in. Okay, good, you got it. All right, so I'm going to set my compass distance between the needle and the lead. I'm going to set it to 1 inch, just like I'm doing right here. Get as close as I can. Good, see that? 1 inch. So now I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to practice some circles. That's a tendency to, when you're doing circles, is to make them darker. But don't do it because you have 2H lead in your compass, right? So you can still use construction lines, just a light pressure, okay? And if you looked how the person on the video do circles, you're gonna do it the same way. See if you can see. Good. So, of course, let me take it up a little bit higher. Okay. Good. So, of course, the needle is used to kind of set your, right? To kind of set your compass. Some of you have a very hard surface. Typically on drafting boards, there's a vinyl covering that mine happens to be wood, but typically it's vinyl, which allows you to sink the needle into the vinyl, and that really holds the compass in place. But some of you may not have that. You don't have that means. So what you're going to do, okay? And you see how I'm holding. Let me bring this down a little bit more. So I'm going to secure. I'm going to secure the compass with my needle, okay? And then I'm going to lean back this way. I'm going to lean back, and I'm going to start to leaning that compass, and I'm holding it between my index finger and my thumb, and I'm going to have to. Okay, good. Let's do that again at a higher perspective. I think you maybe see it better. Let's get a higher perspective. Okay. So, yeah, that's better. Okay, good. So I'm going to secure. I'm going to secure the compass with the needle. Okay, and then I'm not holding it straight up like this, right? I'm leaning like this, just like it was demonstrated earlier. Okay, I'm leaning it like this, and I'm going to pressure. Not a whole lot of pressure, but light pressure. I'm leaning it. Okay, let's do one a little bit higher. Okay. Let's do one here. Okay. Leaning it. Leaning. Keeping pressure to the pencil. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so go ahead and practice a couple of those. Okay, so now we're going to set up area number 2, okay? And all we're drawing now is just the circles. So we're not doing these other lines here, not this line, not that line, not this chord, not that chord. All we're drawing in terms of setup is the circle. Again, the circle is 2 inches in diameter, so you have to set your compass distance to a 1 inch radius. Okay, now we want to get this circle kind of like it is here, kind of centered between here and here, okay, and between the top of the circle and this line here. Well, we know that the width of this box here is 5 inches, so half of 5 inches is 2.5 inches. So if I go 2.5 inches, that gives me kind of the center. It does give me the center horizontally. Good. All right.
Hey, Mr. William.
Yes.
I can't really see your drawing because it's kind of blurry.
Yeah. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
All that I did was to find the center of the quadrant from here to here, and the length of the quadrant is 5 inches. So half of 5 inches is 2.5 inches. So I came over 2.5 inches and I drew a vertical line. Okay, and that just divided this into two equal parts.
What's that point that you drew right there?
Hmm?
Your reference point. What's the measurement for that? Yeah, right there.
Okay, remember, here's what I said. From this line to this line, we know it's 5 inches, right?
Yes.
So half of 5 inches is 2.5 inches. So all I did was put my 0 here, full size scale, and then measure over 2.5 inches and establish a reference point here. Right? So once I have that reference point there, then I just drew the vertical line.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. All right. So now I want this circle to be kind of centered this way. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm just going to see where. Okay. I'm putting my needle on the vertical line that I just made. I see where am I going to be if I'm not going to draw it, but I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to draw it. Okay. Good. I see that it clears my text at the bottom. If you can see that. Ooh, my hands are in the way. It clears my text at the bottom, and it's okay at the top. I probably want I can bring it down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just bring it down a little bit. Good. So I'm going to lean into it like this. Secure the compass with my needle. Lean into it like this. Lean. There we go. Okay, now I want to see if you can do this on. Well, no, I'm just gonna do them with you. Any questions about the circle?
No.
Good. Okay. So let's go to the next one. We'll just do them together. It'll be easier. We just do them together. All right. All right, so with this next, the third one here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a horizontal line 2 inches in length. And at the end of that line, we're going to make a vertical line that's 1.5 inches in length. And then at the end of that vertical line, we're going to draw an arc that's going to be 5/8 of an inch. Okay? Horizontal line, 2 inches, vertical line, 1.5 inches, arc at 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so let's do that. Good. All right. You see this line that I drew over here, right? Right, that 2-inch vertical line. If I come over here, okay, and I just extend that line, that same line over to there, I think that would be cool. All right. So let me show you what I'm saying. Okay. I've already drawn that line and I've located it this way. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same location. Come over here. Okay. Here. I just used the same dimension here for that vertical line as I did over here for that one. Okay. Now all I got to do is establish the length of the line. Good. And again, we're making a 2-inch line, full size scale. Again, I just want to get it kind of visually centered. This looks good enough for me. So reference point here. Reference point here. For my 2 inches. Okay, good. Now, at the end of that 2-inch line right here at that reference point, I'm going to make a vertical line. It's going to be 1.5 inches. Okay. So I already have that reference point there. Yep. So I need 1.5 inches. Okay, that's right there, 1/2 of an inch. And that's where that line's going to end right there, 1.5 inches. Good. So now that I got my reference point, come over here. Okay, I kind of made this line a little bit too long. Okay, good. All right. Okay. So 2-inch line, 2-inch line from here to here. Vertical line from there to there, 1.5 inches. From there to there, 1.5 inches. Good. Now, at the end of this line here, right here, and this at that reference point right there, I need to draw an arc that has a radius. An arc that has a radius of 5/8 of an inch. So now I need to go back to my compass. Okay. Let's determine what 5/8 is. Okay. That's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8 right there. So I'm going to set my compass to 5/8 of an inch. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, 5/8 of an inch. That looks pretty good to me. 5/8. All right. So now I'm going to set my needle at that reference point, right? Right there. Okay. And I don't need to draw a circle. I'm just drawing an arc. So I'm gonna lean in like this. This. I made it darker than what I needed to, just for you to see it. Okay. From here to there, 2 inches. From that reference point up vertically, 1.5 inches. At that reference point, right, you put your needle right at that reference point, and then set your compass distance to 5/8 of an inch and draw that arc in. For my erasing shield, now I found it. That's good. I'm good. Okay, are we good with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we all good? All right, let's move to the next one. Since we're doing it together. Okay, with this third one here, okay, what you're going to need is your 30-60 triangle. Okay, 30-60 triangle. 30-60. Okay. So let me illustrate a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit higher. Good. Okay. Good. If I rest, if you can see, yeah, here's my T-square, right? If I rest this triangle in this position, then this angle here, that angle there, that's 30 degrees. If I rest it in this position like this, okay, good, then this angle there is 60 degrees, right? But we know that we're going to be making a what? A 30-degree angle. So our triangle should be rested against the straight edge or the T-square in this position, for this angle there to be 30 degrees. Okay. So now let's go back over here. And let's come down to so we can see it. Okay. Then let's get it positioned just like that. Cool. All right. So here we are in box number 1, 2, 4. Okay. 4. And we're going to be making a horizontal line that's going to be 3 inches in length. And then we're going to make a 30-degree angled line, also 3 inches in length. Okay. I know I'm going to have text down here, but I'm not going to do the guidelines. I know I just got to keep this line up above this circle, so in that way it will ensure that the line will not interfere with my text. So initially, I need to establish the location of this 3-inch line first. Okay, and so I'm going to find 3 inches on the full size scale. There it is, right there. That's 3 inches. That's 3 inches. And I'm just going to get it visually. Well, actually, I can send it pretty good because from here to there, guess what? It's 5 inches. So if I just come off of 1 inch from this side here like this, here's my reference point there. Okay, 3 inches. Then at 0. Wonderful. Wonderful. So now I can draw my horizontal line between those 2 reference points, and it will be 3 inches in length. There it is. Okay. So now I know I have to, my triangle has to be resting on my T-square, okay, in this position for this angle here to be 3 inches. Okay. So what I'm going to do initially, I'm just going to draw a line. I'm not going to worry about the length. I'm going to draw very lightly. Okay, good. There it is. Okay, but that's my 30-degree angle. Now I can give myself a reference point to establish the end of it. Okay. So placing a 0 there, and then here's my reference point. Okay. So now, see, now I have an issue, right? I should have made it higher because I have an interference, right? I have an interference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase it. I need to move it up. Yep, because that line actually was interfering with my text. So I guess what I better do is put the text in there, the guidelines for the text. That'll help me. All right, so I'm going to go 1/16 and 1/4. Okay. And that's going to represent the guideline for the text. Okay. Good. All right. So I see I have to move this line up. Okay. So I'm just going to move it up. Two. Move it up to someplace. Let's see. Give me a dimension. So right now it's 1 inch from that line, if you can see that. So I'm just gonna make it 1/2 inch. I'm gonna give it a dimension now. Move up here, 1/2 inch away. Good. And I'm gonna come in 1 inch here. Inch. There it is. And then 3 inches again. Okay. But now I'm going to put it up here. Okay. So I'll move it higher. Okay, and let me check and see what my 3 inches is now. Start there. That's 3 inches. So now I can do my 30-degree angle. Good. I can measure along here from that intersection here, 3 inches. Good. So that's where my line's going to end. But when I do it finally, so I'm going to go from that point to that intersection there, and 3 inches down, and then now there's no interference. So I'm going to pull, this comes over. Good. So now we're working in quadrant number, what is it? Number 5. So with this one, I'm going to make this 3-inch line also at the, it doesn't tell you that, but it is. This 3-inch line here that I'm going to draw is also at 30 degrees. So I'm going to make a 3-inch line at 30 degrees. And at this end, I'm going to make an arc that's going to be 1 1/4 inches. And at this end, I'm going to make an arc that's going to be 1/2 inch. All righty. So I'm going to put the guidelines in from a text this time. Actually, I can do it each time, but I'm doing it each time. If I can just do it all the way across, actually. I could do this one, and then do this one over here. Good. And then do this one. I don't have to keep doing them separately. Okay. There we go. Cool. All right. So now I know I'm drawing this line at 30 degrees, so my triangle needs to have this orientation. Okay. And I want to get it up, and it's 3 inches. All right. So I want to get it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now. All right, so I can see there if I start it right about here. That should work. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a line now from that point there. I'm just going to draw it. I did it very lightly. Okay. But now from that point, I'm angling my scale at 30 degrees so I can get a 2 dimension, and that line would end right there. Cool. All right. So I have the beginning of my 3-inch line and the end of my 3-inch line right there. All right. So at this one end, I need to make an arc that's going to be 1 1/4 inches. All right, so I have to get my compass out again, the full-size scale, and set my compass distance to 1 1/4 inches. That looks pretty good, right? All right. So I'm setting my needle at that reference point right here. Good. I'm leaning into it like this. And I'm just going to make an arc. Good. At 1 1/4 inches. I'm just going to verify that quick.
How did you do that again? Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Do you have the 3-inch line in there?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So now we have to make this arc. That's going to be, the arc is going to be 1 1/4 inches, right? See that? Has a radius of 1 1/4 inches.
Yep.
Okay, good. So what I did then, I used my full-size scale, and I came over here, and I set my compass distance to 1 1/4 inches. Okay. 1 1/4 inches. Right? 1 1/4 inches. Right? So I set my compass distance to 1 1/4 inches. Like that. Okay. I'm not going to do it again, but I'm not going to draw it again, but I'm going to show you how. So then I set my needle at the end of that reference point, that line right there, right there. And then I lean into it and I do that arcing. Cool. You got it now?
Yep.
This other arc here, okay, has a radius of 1/2 of an inch. Okay. And it's going to be drawn at the end of that 30-degree angle line, at that point right there. That point right there. Okay. So I need to set my compass distance to 1/2 of an inch. Half of an inch. Cool. All right. I'll put my needle here at that point right there. Okay. Lean into it like this. Draw the arc. I'm just going to darken this line a little, just a tad, so you can probably see it better. I'm going to repeat for exercise number 6. You're going to need your adjustable triangle. It looks like this, that allows us to draw angles other than 90, 60, 30, or 45 degrees.
This is the big adjustable triangle, right?
Yeah, it looks like this.
Okay.
Looks like this. You see it?
I have it.
Okay, excellent. All right. Now, in its closed position, as it rests against your T-square, in its closed position, this angle is 45 degrees. You see that there, okay? 45 degrees. Now, it's adjustable because it allows you to loosen this knob here, okay? And then you can start to set it then up, start to set the angles to other angle types, right? So, starting at 45 in this closed position, if I go over there, if I put that, see this center marker right there? There we go. If I put that at 50, okay, then this angle here, this angle right here is 50. Okay. Now let's look at how it's look at the increments. So from this is 40 degrees, this is 45. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each increment here represents 1 degree, right? Because from 40 to here, 40 is here, 45 is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So each increment here represents 1 degree. So now, if I started at 50, then I want to go 51, 52, 53. Let me get it right. Okay. Here we go. Here's 50, 50, 51, 52, 53. So I want to set it at 53. I want to get it right there. And if you can see that this marker here now has been set to 53 degrees. So I want you to go ahead and do that. And that 53 degrees, and that 53 degrees is actually this side of the triangle. And as we look at that against that angle, against the sample drawing, we can see that it's the same angle. 53 here, 53 there. All right, so with the triangle set at 53 degrees, what we're gonna do first, we're gonna make this horizontal line right here, this horizontal line right here, and make that. We can make it any length you want. I really don't care, but actually, I know I need to give you something because people are like, oh, I don't want to do. So let's make this line here. Let's make it 1.25 inches. This line here, 1.25 inches. So I have some latitude now. I can come over here. Okay, let's see how much latitude do I have. I can bring that line. I just need to get it above my text and get it above this circle. So I'm gonna give you a measurement because people need measurements. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna come up 1.25 inches from this line, 1.25 inches. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it 1.25 inches. That'd be fine. Good. And then I'm gonna make it 1.25 inches in length. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get it centered. That looks pretty good right there. So I have my one reference mark here. And 0. And between those two reference points, I have a line that's gonna be 1.25 inches. Good. So now I'm going to take my adjustable triangle and I'm going to draw a line. Draw a line from this reference point there. Draw a line at 53 degrees. Oops. I didn't quite get to my reference point. So let me erase that.
How did you set it up? I'm sorry.
Say it again.
How did you set it up, your adjustable triangle?
Okay. All right. You have it in its closed position, right?
Yeah.
Closed position.
And then you set it up to 53, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I have
Correct.
that.
Oh, you have that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to see how you do the line.
Oh, you want to see how I did the line?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I just wanted to get this line here. Okay, horizontal line. You don't have a distance here, so I made. Oh goodness, I made this line here 1.25 inches. Okay, from here to here.
Yeah.
And then I started it 1.25 inches up from this line.
Yep, I have that.
Okay, you can put it any place you want as long as it clears, okay? All right, so then I measured 1.25 inches, came over here. I established one reference point there. And then I went 1/4, 1 inch, and then here's my ending reference point. So that's how long that line's going to be from here to there, 1.25 inches, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then I just took my decimal triangle at this point right at this reference point right here. We'll try to do it better this time. Okay, make sure everything's good, tight. There we go. And then I drew that line. I know you can barely see it, but in this way it should be. But here's my line at 53 degrees, right? And now I just need to give it a length. So I'm going to make that length also 1.25 inches. So I'm putting my 0 here, and I'm measuring up 1.25 inches. Okay, and that's going to be into that line when I do it finally. Okay, so now let's okay. Now these last two, I'm going to let you do on your own because it's nothing more than creating two circles, okay? Creating two circles, having a 2-inch diameter, 1-inch radius, okay? Just like you did with this one here. Okay? Just like you did the second one, okay? All right, so in quadrant 7, pardon me, in quadrant 7, quadrant 8, create two circles, okay? All right, here we go. All right, so we're working on the last setup drawing, right? Good. Which goes here. All right, all you're going to be drawing is a line here. That's at 15 degrees, and another line there at 15 degrees. That's what the setup drawing. It's all that it is. Okay. So now let's look at the actual. Okay. You're going to be drawing this line here at 15 degrees, and it's going to be 2.5 inches in length. Okay. And then you're going to draw this line here, which is parallel to that line right here, at a distance of 1.25 inches, but it's also going to be 2.5 inches in length and 30 inches in degrees. Pardon me, 30, I said 15, okay? 15 angle, 15 angle, 2.5 inches apart, pardon me, 2.5 inches long, 1.25 inches apart, okay? All right. So now what you have to do now though is to set your adjustable triangle to 15 degrees. So let's look at that. So here we are at 0, 0, and this triangle's so dirty, it's not my fault. Okay, here we are at 0. Let me get the point. Here we are at 0. Okay, now here we are at 0. Okay, and then it's 10 degrees. And we know each increment here represents 5. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 degrees is right here. Okay. So now I'm going to set my adjustable triangle to 15 degrees. So I'm going to bring it up, 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 bring it up. Line it up right there. right there and fasten it down. I'm apologizing for the uncleanliness of these tools. They are my personal tools. Okay. All right. So now we have to determine now, and what I had to do too, I had to take my sheet and move it up. Okay, move it up because I need. Okay, first of all, too many things. So now let's determine. Let's determine what side of this triangle of this. What side of this adjusted angle is 15 degrees. Okay, so now if I was to take this and flip it around this way like this, see what I did? Okay, it's resting on my T-square in this position right here, right? Good, right? But now I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip it around this way. So now it's resting on my T-square in this position. In this position, right? And you know what that means? That means that this angle here is 15 degrees. This side. And when I look at that against, against the setup sample, I can see that this line, this angle here, that angle is the same angle, all right? So you have to flip that adjustable triangle around so you can get the right angle, okay? So we determined that the top of this line right here is 15 degrees. So that's why I have to move it up because I need to get a line. Can you see the whole thing? No, can I see? There we go. Now we can see the whole thing. Good. So I had to move my sheet up so I would have enough room to draw this line. Draw a line here, and then come down an inch in, what did I say? An inch and 1/4, and draw another line here, right? So I could kind of get it within this quadrant. So I took my entire sheet and I moved it up that way. All right, so I'm gonna give you time to make all those adjustments. If need be. All right, so now that it's positioned correctly, I'm going to make a line here, that line right there at 15 degrees, and it's going to be 2.5 inches in, I'll take what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the bottom, I'll do the bottom one first. It's just going to be the same scenario. It's going to be 15 degrees as an angle, and it's going to be 2.5 inches in length. All right, so good. I'm in this area here, good. I'm going to get it up here, just make sure it's above. And try to get it centered a little bit. Just move it up a little bit more. There we go. Start it this way. It looks good right there, I think. Good. So I'm just going to draw a line here at 15 degrees right there. And then I'm going to measure. Then I'm going to measure. You can see that good. Then I'm going to measure 1.25 inches. Okay, that puts me way up there. So I think what I got to do, I got to bring this line down. So it's just too high. It's too high. Let's bring that down. So let's bring it down to. Let's bring it down to here, I guess. Good. So I put it down some, and so now I'm going to measure. I'm going to measure 1 1/4. Make another line at 1 1/4 right here. All right. So. Where's my line? Okay, 1 1/4. Yeah, tap. 1 1/4 is right there. That line. That line. All right. Okay. So let me erase this other line here that might be a little confusing. Good. So now I have 2 lines here that are drawn at 15 degrees. Now I just need to establish the length of them. And notice when I measured the distance this way, 1 1/4, that I turned my scale to be perpendicular to the angle so I can get the true dimension. I didn't hold it flat. I turned it perpendicular to the angle of 15 degrees, and then I measured at 1 1/4, right? And that gave me a true dimension, a true distance. Okay. All right. So now the length of those 2 lines are 2.5 inches. So let's see what I'm going to do with that. I'll put that over there. And I need to measure 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'll start there, 2.5 inches. Okay. Along the line, okay. So it's 0, that's okay, it's there. And then 2.5 is right there. Okay, so from there to there, it is going to be the length of that line. From there to there. Okay. And I could be a little bit tricky here. Okay, since I have those 2 points. And they're at 15 degrees like that. If I take my just my triangle and I turn it in this direction. Now I can draw a line that's going to be I can establish a point that's perpendicular to 15 degrees. So I can establish my point there as the end of the line. Good. Move it over here to this one. Okay. Good. All right. So those are the lengths of my 2 lines at 15 degrees, being 1 1/4 apart. And again, here's my 15 degrees. And if I want to draw a line perpendicular to 15 degrees, I just took that just a triangle and I position it in this orientation, right? And that allowed me to draw a point that's perpendicular to 15 degrees. Here and there. All right, I'll let you work on that.
And what do we do when we have that in our paper?
When you have those 2 lines?
Yes, I do, man.
You're done.
I'm done?
You're done with that particular setup drawing.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so now here's what I want you to do now. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and set up the guidelines for the title block like we did last time. Remember?
Okay, yep.
Yep. So if you finish quadrant 9, you have actually finished with the setup drawing. And so now you can move to creating the guidelines only for the title block, like we did for the last exercise assignment.